What's going on, people? Not for the radio, myself, Viz, Posty, and Chams. We've been away for a minute, apologies, but we're back now. And someone we've been chasing for a while finally turned up. Kyze in the building.
Make some noise.
What is this, drink champ?
We got the champs out. Celebration.
By the
that
way,
you're
let's
here.
paint the picture. It is currently, what's the time? It's 2:27.
Yeah.
And we're having alcohol in the daytime.
Have we got problems?
No, man,
That's a
we're
celebration.
celebrating.
Yeah, it's
We're
a
celebrating.
celebration,
Where is
man.
that bottle of champagne? The other one.
There's
Ain't
here.
the open
There's
one?
here.
Said there was
Got
an
the
open
vodka
one.
there as well.
How you been, Kyze? You right?
I'm good, bro. What's happening?
We had a video shoot last night.
Yeah, epic.
It was epic. You've got a mixtape out right now.
Yeah.
2 words, 1 finger.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a great tape.
Thank you.
It's making some noise in the streets.
Mhm.
And obviously, it's been doing very well in like the charts and stuff like that as well, which shows
Oh,
like
yeah?
your influence. Yeah, I've noticed. I check numbers, you know. And yeah, I've noticed it's doing really well, man. So congratulations, bro.
Thank you, man. Here's to that.
Yeah, cheers. All right, so talk about the process of that mixtape and what the feeling was like making that mixtape, how long it took you to make it, and you're obviously happy with it. The reception's been crazy.
I think I started making it January. I think I started like 1 or 2 tunes in January. And then as I was making it, I noticed I was kind of like overthinking the music a lot. You know, like thinking about this and that and this and that. And I had this title for it, that title for it. I was throwing this idea around, that idea around. And then one day I was just like, man, fuck this, man. I'm just making something I can just roll to. You know what I'm saying? I think Giggs was a bit of an influence in that because like every time I was around him, he just makes what he wants, man. You know, like he don't watch nothing, man. I was thinking like, that's what I need to do. I need to take a bit of that, you know what I'm saying? And just make what I want. What do I want to roll to? And I made it. So that's why I called it 2 words, 1 finger. Literally like, just fuck you, man. I'm just doing what I want to do. And then it's like ended up being like one of my best bodies of work. Probably my best body of work, to be honest.
Okay. Talk to us about the featuring process as well. How did that come? So you got Giggs on there, obviously.
Yeah.
We could have predicted that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's an obvious one. You got Scraps on there.
Yes. Yeah, big up Scraps.
Who else you got on there?
You got Kojo on there.
Kojo Funds, A-Star, Safwan, Deneo, Stanner.
Big up Stanner.
Yeah, big up
So,
Stanner.
was that your hit list for people that you wanted to get on there, or did it all happen like organically, or they're the people that you're like, I need these man on there?
Yeah. Everything happened organically. Nothing was planned. Even with the Hollow feature, even though you say it was expected.
Okay, yeah.
I just sent him a rhythm like that I made that I thought was sick. And then like he liked it and then just wanted in. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, he was feeling the tune. So I said to him, yo, bless man with a verse. And he was in.
You did say that though. I think the last time we spoke, you said that, you know, one thing that you wanted to do regarding features was just to make sure everything was organic and nothing was forced.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear that it's manifested exactly how you wanted it to.
Yeah, exactly like that. Not one of the features was forced. Like obviously, me and Safwan done a tune, I think, a couple of years ago. Like we both featured on someone else's song and just like rated each other as like MCs and that. And then so it was inevitable I was gonna get him on there. A-Star, you know, that's my brother, man. We built a relationship on the tour and that, you know what I'm saying? He's a proper good brother and a sick rapper. So it was nothing for that. Like we just went to Birmingham and he was with Saf, so we just done that there. I posted a clip of one of my songs on Instagram. Scraps commented on it. And I thought, Scraps will sound cold on this. So I just DM'd him and I said, I can hear a bomb on this. And I just sent him the tune and he just sent back that massacre, you get me?
I think it's important to note, though, that you said that it wasn't as obvious as we would expect that that Giggs was on your project, because I think naturally people assume that because people are friends or in a collective, that every project the person who's making the most noise is gonna be on there. Not that he wouldn't jump on it, but even that it would fit. So talk to us about that, like, you know, like in terms of having expectations as part of a collective.
Yeah, but yeah, people always expect a lot from us or have their opinion or their idea on what we should be doing or whatever, but I just don't go, nothing's planned with SN1, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how other teams work, but nothing's ever planned with us. Even that song, Johnny Storm, like it wasn't planned.
But you know,
you should do a video to that, man.
Yeah, we did last night.
Yes.
Did
That's
he?
the one. That's
Did
the one.
he? In terms of, obviously, for people who are watching, a lot of people are like, I expect my friends to put me on, or they have that kind of act that
Yeah.
you know, I know that person, so if I go make a mixtape or an album or a single, I expect that person to jump on it. So it's nice to know that your expectations are like that. But yeah, like
Gig's my bridging before anything, man, and he's working hard. So you know, like I never do nothing with the intention of like, oh, he has to bless me with a verse or put me on, and he's been doing that from the beginning. Like it's normal. Like I trust his process. When he's ready to do what he's doing, he's doing what he's doing. But a lot of people do say that, like, oh, why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen? I'll say, leave that man alone. Man. He's working.
So let's go back to like the beginnings, like the original stages. Obviously, you're Kyze.
Yeah.
I remember you from even before I got in the game. I think the first time I came across you was probably up in the Shubs.
Yeah.
On a little Channel U vibe.
Yeah.
And I thought you was cold, and I thought, yeah, well, this is something I haven't seen on the screens before. So obviously, like, people of my age have been aware of you for a long time.
Yeah.
So what's the story? How did it all start for you? How did you, because you're from Peckham, everybody knows that. How did you actually get into SN1? Because I feel like SN1's very family-based. And obviously your family in SN1 now. So how did Kyze get into that situation in the first place? What's the story behind that?
Well, my memory of it is, we talk about this all the time and we have different versions of events. But I was in a crew called, originally I was just in a crew of Boom Blast. Like Slew Crew or Slew Them or something. I know there's another one called that, not them. That's what we just called ourselves with from like Peckham. Ryan, Boom was a DJ and he used to jump on the mic now and again. That was way back. And then I joined a crew called 187 with my other friends. They were like more Dulwich based. And then I think someone just showed Giggs a tape of me or something. And I was always friends with his like younger brothers and that. And then one day I just went to North Peckham, like where he's from, and we done a tape. And then I think pretty much I was just like SN1 from there. But obviously, because they were like the G's in the hood as well, like it was a pleasure to be a part of the thing, you know what I'm saying? And then Giggs went jail shortly after that. And me and Joe Gran was just doing our rounds on like I hate saying grime, but not saying like I hate saying grime, but back then there weren't no such word. I think grime kind of came like 05 in my opinion. But I'm talking 2003. 2004, we was doing our little rounds, Heat FM and all these places, and like I didn't think On Top was then. It's like Flashback and you know them old school stations. And then Giggs came out, and then that's when we more became like rap based. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, most definitely.
So talk about your transition from what we recognise as grime to rap. Like how did that come about?
So you wouldn't say you was ever really a grime MC. I want to go back
I feel
to that
like
because a lot of people would say originally Kyze is grime.
Yeah, because that's the word they use for it. But I thought I was just a garage MC. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man grew up on Jungle and that Bashment and Jungle. And then, like, I remember, like, I used to go to school in East. I got kicked out of school in South. I went Wolf and I got kicked out. That was the last school I got kicked out of in South. I got kicked out of like 3 schools, and then they sent me to some mad school in East for like mad kids. Some special needs school in East in Bethnal Green. And then I went there and I used to chill with a youth called Ada in class. And he was part of YGS, Young Gun Soldiers. And the man was from Bow. And I used to roll with him and used to go to Dizzy's house after school sometimes. And I remember like, I felt like these men were kind of like, not light years ahead. I mean, they just had something different that I'd never heard of. Like, and it was kind of like jungle, but coming into this garage thing. You know what I'm saying? And then there was no such word as grime. So man was a garage MC. And then I felt like I started rapping. I still used to mess with the tempo, but I started rapping like 04, 05 when that grime, everyone started saying grime, and that's how I kind of remember it.
You push up your face when you say that. Like, what's your feeling towards that? You're like when everyone said grime, like what?
Nah, it's just because like I feel like it's just I don't even know how to answer that. It's just like I said, I feel like I left just before it became grime. And then I was a rapper.
It probably means the word, actual
Yeah, no,
word.
I know.
Yeah, the actual word,
I know what
grime.
the feeling was behind that.
So when people say I came from grime, I feel like, no, I was never really grime. I was But I was, if you're just talking about the tempo and stuff like that, but I started rapping just before the word
So it got
grime
classified
was popular.
after.
Yeah, I was a garage MC. I used to spit like, enter me, the one the Kyze out. That's a garage MC, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
really. And then when people started doing grime, I was more rapping. But I was still messing with the tempo on some songs and all of that. But I never ever said, no stage of my career I ever said I was a grime MC.
I feel like
that make sense?
Yeah, no, of course. I feel like without SN1, the rap game wouldn't be where it is at now.
Yeah.
I feel like different categories of people in our scene have like pushed boundaries to the point that allow other people to get to other places, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So we would have never known, like maybe 5, 6 years ago or 7 years ago, that Gigs could talk like the craziest shit, or Kyze could talk the craziest shit, and it could just be like a thing for like the masses, if that makes any sense. And that probably comes from a sense of genius or craziness. So what was your mind frame? Because from an outside perspective at that time, it's probably, to someone else that doesn't know any different, it's probably crazy. And then you feel a certain way because your music's not being played as much.
Yeah.
But it should be, because now everyone will play your music.
Yeah.
So what was that mind frame like at the time? How did you feel? What kind of obstacles did you go through? Like, what was going on at that time?
What, like, in terms of?
In terms of like musically, like, did you struggle to have people play your music, or?
Yeah, visiting them, man.
Yeah, what happened with that?
I didn't really pay attention to that side of the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I was just in the hood.
I was on the list.
I was just in the hood
too.
I was just in the hood. Yeah, but you're on the radio. Like, one extra didn't mean nothing. You're on the BBC. But anyway, but I didn't really pay attention. I didn't know what was going on. I just enjoyed making music. Gigs was like always working, always encouraging, man. You know, like Gigs has always been a supporter and believer in my talent. So I feel like I probably wouldn't even have really known anything about the game if Gigs wasn't like so on it. Like, even my first album, what everyone says is my best album, Today's My Deadline, Gigs really kind of like was on me to make that. He's like, bruv, you need a CD, you need to do this. And I kind of was like, oh, I'll do it. And at the time when I dropped it, yeah, man, them in the hood was loving it, but it weren't a big deal. It's not until like I went jail, everyone was like talking about it. Sorry, I strayed from your question.
No, I think that mixtape did damage. I remember people talking about it.
Yeah, but I never knew that. Like, in the hood, it was just the man them, and the man them like everything. So it weren't no different to anything else.
I remember it was a lot harder then. So if you had a track that was popping, no one's gonna go to Peckham and say, "Hey, I really like your track."
Yeah,
like,
and I weren't really leaving the hood.
It was like, I weren't really social media like that.
I weren't really leaving the hood to go anywhere to find out news. Like, the furthest I went was
it's hard to know what.
a couple country ends and all of that, and they'd liked it, but they were more like brethren and family, so they'll like it anyway. But as in terms of like fans, I don't think I ever interacted with fans properly that. Like, I think I thought, I'm sick when I went jail. Yeah. Because everyone, like, my mixtape was like, that was gold dust.
I think that's definitely one of the mixtapes. There was a lot of mixtapes at that time that helped change and shift the game, and that was definitely one of them. It's in that circle of mixtapes there. So that was like 8 years ago now.
No, 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
10 years ago in
when
August.
you got out and you saw everyone on social
I dropped
media.
That August 07.
Okay.
July 07, sorry.
All right.
How did that feel, kind of seeing that people were talking to computers, writing stuff and posting stuff and speaking to fans directly, people from different ends?
Yeah, it was mad.
By the way, Kyze was terrible when he came out of jail.
What do you mean?
Terrible. He was like still fresh. He was naughty still.
Posty, you sent me cameramen that were losing footage, man.
Do you know what? I do want to talk about that.
Trying to put me on blast.
I was low.
When you come
I was low. I was in a Bell hostel, thought I was gonna get rich like the next day. Like, I just thought, I'm gonna make this video and this tune, I'm gonna be popping the next day, and I never knew it was so much work.
I want to talk about.
Yeah,
it was so funny. So basically, what actually happened was, when Kyze came out of jail, fresh out of jail, obviously he had come to me to like do a couple of videos, right? And I was so low, and then so I was trying to work with like cameramen that was around me, right? So I had this cameraman cameraman that was giving me bare hell, and it was fresh stages. And I always usually give like cameramen like a month to show themselves who they really are. Kyze came in that process probably like 2 days in with the geezer, yeah? So I send the geezer to the Kyze shoot or whatever the case may be, right? He shoots the video, he loses the footage, he does this, he does that. He's giving me hell. Guess who sent me the cameraman? Fucking Rashid. Rashid recommended this. Rashid recommended this cameraman. I was dying. But that's what I was trying to say. In context of your story, like it was probably like, because I think off the top of my head, I came in the game 09, and I remember when I was at uni, you actually came to my uni and performed.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you probably went to...
What uni was that?
Colchester.
I performed?
You
sure?
100%. I got pictures to prove it.
Send me them because I can't remember that. I didn't remember doing any shows.
You came down. So you probably went to Joe in 08, right?
No, I went February 09.
Okay. I came in the game March 09.
I was in jail then, mate.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So you missed like a very important stage in the game in terms of like platforms and social media or whatever. So when you came out, it must have been quite different for you because you were such a pioneer.
Yeah. I remember I was hearing about it, but it was kind of hard to work out like what was going on and what things were. Like I remember like my brethren used to come visit me. I used to say to him, "What's Twitter? What's Instagram?"
Before you go in, the mixtape's ringing off. You come out and you land. What's the feeling? Is it like, listen, I need to jump back into the game where I left off, or is it kind of like I've been left behind? What's the first thing on your mind, music-wise?
You're always gonna feel like that being away. Well, in jail, everyone goes through different experiences, but you're always gonna feel like you're being left behind if things are progressing and you're not. Do you know what I mean? And like, obviously, when I went away, I think Gigs got signed that year. I remember him coming to see me on a visit and saying, "Yeah, I got signed." You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "You got signed?" Like, we just kicked off the door in a distribution company last year. Is fucking with us, you know what I'm saying? And crazy shit like that. And for him to tell me he got signed, man, I just remember like it was obviously as men, you just big man up and say, "Yeah, man, that's sick." But I remember being inside thinking, "Right, that's sick, man. You got signed," you know what I'm saying? But to come out to where it went, I was thinking, "Oh, this is mad. Like, the UK is on." Like, it seemed like everyone was doing something. So I tried to rush back in, but with intentions of, I think my mind was just on doing something more than actually taking time to work on my craft. Do you follow? Does that answer your question? Yeah, so I think I just tried to rush in and get something done, and throughout just, I think, was a bullshit body.
And do you know what is so nuts as well? That when you came out of jail, you actually landed. It's so crazy that you actually landed on a hit straight away with Punani.
Yeah.
And we have to think about the context of that.
I breached probation to the only thing I've ever done since I've been out of jail is breach probation to get that video done.
Can you still get in trouble for?
Nah, I'm off probation, B.
So you can't get in trouble for that information.
Celebrate
I'm
that.
off probation, B.
You had curfew and
Yeah, I had curfew. And I remember the idiot that drove me down there, saying no names, fucking decided to get drunk and didn't want to drop me back before 7 a.m. And I was in a meeting the next day in the probation office, and they were like, "So you just thought you wouldn't come back on time?" And I was like, "What happened was," and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And it got a bit mad after that. You had to fall back, but then Punani was blowing up. And I remember like I got my first booking in Northampton, and then the police didn't want me to perform. And I wasn't having it, boy. I went to my probation and I said, "My behavior's been impeccable, man. You don't need to write me a letter and say to these people that I'm cool." And I remember I phoned like the people who stopped the show. I found out everything and I rang them and I was like, "What's your problem with me?" I said, "I've been in jail for 5 years. I've come out. I've relaxed for 6 months. I've been in your bail hostel. I've, complied with all your, things that you've set in place. Like, let me perform." And the guy was like, "Do you know, out of all the artists that, we've shut down, no one's ever actually pursued trying to..."
channels there, yeah.
And they let me perform. And then after that, it was kind of cool for a bit, and then they started their bullshit again. And then they was all right.
Yeah, no, of course. And I was just trying to say that basically in terms of like the time, because I feel like internet culture was different then in terms of like songs actually like blowing up and then actually have a real impact in terms of like people who book clubs or like people who, do you know what I mean? Like in terms of like the financial side of things and just like people feeling shit, if that makes any sense. So that song came then. So you've come out of jail, Punani, big hit.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to book you. There wasn't hits like that where it was like, you could just, like now it's different. Like now it's like, if you have like a big song, you're getting like bare bookings, yada yada. Then it wasn't like that. Those were like the moments of when it was starting.
I was flexing Punani times though.
You was flexing, you came out of jail and you was doing PAs.
I weren't ready, you know. I swear I weren't ready, blood. I didn't even know what was going on, bro.
Roly-poly into it. It's like,
literally, like, I came out of jail, I wasn't even on rap. I wanted to get a job, I wanted to relax. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, gigs came to check me where I was, and, like, I was making some mad song. Like, some super, like, I didn't forget it. Gigs just came in there on an old school thing and was brushing, man. Like, what's this? You get me? He was killing me, bro. And then, like, I was like, what's wrong with this, man? This is where I want to take this shit. You get what I'm saying? Gigs was like, bro, drop me out, man. You get what I'm saying? And then, like, after that, I was just chilling in my hostel, moaning and all of that. And then we made Punani. I breached probation to go and film it. Well, I never breached probation. Somebody made me late to get back from the video shoot, which was on my birthday. 6 months out, exactly 6 months out of jail. And I don't know, it just started getting mad.
Where was that video? Midland somewhere.
Yeah. And it just started going mad. I wasn't even ready. I didn't know what was going on. And then obviously, man, started getting bookings and this and that. And after that, and I thought, yeah, this is it, man. I've made it. I was flexing and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I was flexing. I was definitely doing my thing.
It was a big tune, man. Took me back to my childhood, that Punani.
It was an enjoyable time. Yeah, me too, man.
You ain't had Punani for a while, please.
No. Help me out, man. Help me out, Post. Invite me to some of them parties there.
Hey.
No, Punani was going off, man. I still enjoy performing it, to be honest. Yeah, man, I still enjoy performing
It's a
it.
big tune.
So can we go back a bit? Because obviously, like these are the highlights before you know after you went on holiday.
If that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, if you want to call it that. But before that, you know, in terms of like meeting up with SN1, obviously they're a very thorough collective. And you before you getting involved in that, what do you think it was that steered you towards them?
I think it was just because they were the bad boys in my hands, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I like that.
I
like the honesty there, because a lot of people will make up a story.
Yeah, I'm saying it was gigs and that.
I was like, it was gigs and that.
It was gigs and that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
These with these questions.
I know, but I just remember like man saying, yo, come and make a tape, and I was like, oh, gigs, I'm there, man. You get me? I went out there. I was like, I was all forgetting lyrics and all of that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Gigs was just a brother man just saw in the hood and heard about, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was brethren with his little brother, and I still never ever met him properly. You know what I'm saying? And then like I used to just see him about and hear about him and that. And then we went down to make the tape. And then like I can't remember exactly what happened, the details of it, but I just remember I was SN1 and then he went jail days later.
Okay, and what about you as a person? Because obviously before all of this, before music, you know, your upbringing was very different to a lot of people's.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, do you wanna know?
Just about, you know, obviously you mentioned before that you were an orphan.
Yeah. My mum passed away when I was 9.
Okay, which is very different. And for me, I feel like a lot of people are out there and they're making excuses rather than giving themselves reasons, and they've got a running dialogue that actually I can't do this because X, Y, and Z. So I think it's important for us to kind of raise that and say, actually, you know, this is what's happened. And so how did that make you feel? Like, you know, obviously
like being an orphan.
Yeah, being an orphan and obviously being on the roads and kind of just like, how do you think that made you gravitate towards road life a bit more?
Yeah, naturally, but I was just a little tearaway even when my mum was alive, man. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, but then she passed away, unfortunately, and then I just went into foster care. You know what I'm saying? Me and my sisters, we got split up. Everyone went somewhere different, and there was probably family politics that I probably wouldn't even have understood being 9 years old when she died. And then we all went different parts of the country. Well, not the country, but different parts of London. But me, I never settled in a foster home ever. I was there 9 to 12 months maximum. And then the last foster home I ended up in was in Peckham, which was a rude awakening because Peckham was a fucking jungle back then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I settled into Peckham and then just never left.
Okay, so finding a
But in terms of like that being a part of the music, is that what you're saying? Like, how did it connect to the music? Yeah, because obviously when you're in foster care and you got no family, because I never had family. I had like a couple uncles and shit, but like it was never like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the road does become your family when you're growing up in those circumstances.
You took a while to speak on that in your music. You know, sometimes people say that they use their pain in their music very often, but for you it was quite a lot more of a recent endeavor. Like what?
Yeah, I think I've touched on it like briefly in like Today's My Deadline. I spoke about being an orphan and all that, and growing up in foster homes and all that. But you know, I've always been a person who knows that there's way more people going through worse situations than you. So I never ever wanted to rap about something to people, say like you're playing on that or using that or anything like that. So I never really ever spoke about it. To this day, I've never made a song about my mum because I think there's no words good enough to go on a beat and explain your real emotion about that situation.
Okay, it's only because Today Is My Deadline is one of those tracks that I think a lot of people talk about when they talk about you, because it resonated with so many people. Because, you know, people are out here feeling alone and feeling like they're going through something that is worse than everybody, or is you know, no one else is feeling like this. So when people hear that, I think a lot of people are like, that's my song.
Yeah. I think that's why people like that as a classic CD, because I was opening up a bit more on that in terms of my life and stuff like that. But like I said, it's not been something that I've ever wanted to really go into unless I found the right way to address it.
I think there's a lot of people, let's keep it 100 as well, I think there's a lot of people in this game, that like have suffered kind of like mentally.
Of course,
do you know what I mean? Going through some even less than what you've gone through, some even more. Do you know what I mean? Like hearing your story about your
cup up, man.
Your bad influence, Posty. Hearing your story, Kyze, from like, oh shit.
Posty, I don't even know how
what's
you're
wrong
doing
with you?
You know me and Posty was drinking 4 o'clock this morning and we're here now doing this again.
Sourcing, bro. We must
He
source.
was flexing yesterday.
This guy's a proper alky. Yeah, so hearing your story about kind of like, you know, the early years and obviously time away and stuff, a lot of people have not really made it back or continue to do what they do going through them kind of things. What's kept you going, would you say?
I'm a soldier, man, from young, man. Like, I'm a strong person in terms of like I said, I think when you know, early memories I do have of my mum was always, my mum was one of them mums like, you better eat it because there's people in the world starving. And I think I always had that mentality from young. So I always was able to think to myself, there's people going through worse. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, that's made me be able to always go through situations, just think there's someone going through worse. In terms of not knowing my dad, my mum dying, going into foster care, having to always move around and meet different people, make different friends, change schools, go into prison, doing this, doing that. So I've always had the same mentality. There's always someone going through worse. You know what I'm saying? Treat people with respect. Deal with people how you want to be dealt with. Do you know what I'm saying? And those things have kept me strong and kept me going through it. It's just morals and codes, man. I'm a man who follows that, and I'm a big believer of like respect and time.
I love that.
Most definitely.
I think go on, bros.
What I want to comment on, Kyze, is that you are actually a fucking sick rapper, bro. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes
Tell me more.
Like when people ask me what does it take to make it in the industry nowadays, I always say to them, you either got to be hood or good, and it is very rare that someone is both. You know what I'm trying to say? And when I listen to the stuff that you say and how you say it, I'm not listening to a rapper that's saying one line and thinking of another line, the next line, to make it sound good. Everything you say means how you actually feel, if that makes any sense. Actually makes sense. And I think that's a craft. So what is your creative process like behind that?
I couldn't even answer that. I just don't know. I just don't know. Today's my deadline. I'll give the credit to Hollow for that mixtape because he was just so on me having a solo project at that time because SN1's work rate was just up and I was the only one dragging my heels. And the process was behind that was just getting something done. And Boom at the time was going on with things, even he still is, but then he was like coming into his own and creating a whole new sound for us. And it was like just a thing like I need to just let the world know I'm Kyze and this is where I'm coming from. But my process after that, it's just, I don't know, man. I just hear a beat and just go in. I don't really know, ever plan it, anything. Does that?
Yeah, I thought it was deeper than that, but clearly
it's not deep. It's not deeper than that with me, man.
Making me look stupid.
No, I know what you're saying, but there's never no like. It's like when I make girl songs. Girls always think it's about them. I'm saying,
That's because you lot be
up.
telling them it's about them or hinting to them. I'm in the
I
studio.
made Good Girls, which is one of my biggest songs up until probably Rat-a-Tat and then Panani and whatever. But like, it was never
How
about
many
nobody.
girls did you tell it was about though?
Loads.
Exactly.
But
That's why
it was
they're
never
thinking.
about anybody. It was just about, and it's actually an accident, that song. The guy was supposed to sing Good Girl, but a Hood Girl. He sang Good Girl, not a Hood Girl.
Also, it was an accident.
It was an accident.
All right, you know what? I think you mentioned something quite. I think you mentioned something quite good there. Yeah, what's the percentage? Would you say we've established that you're a good rapper?
Yeah, tell me more.
And from the hood.
He's all right.
Yeah. Like,
He's good.
But
He's good.
in terms of percentage at the moment, you can answer this as well, Posty. In terms of percentage at the moment, not that there's nothing wrong with it or anything wrong with it. What percentage of rappers at the moment would you say are good, and what percentage of rappers would you say are hood out there? Because there's a lot of videos popping off at the moment. There's a lot of tracks popping off at the moment. How much of those rappers are
There's
actually
a couple
good,
man who I look at
and
in
how
the
much
video.
are just hood?
There's a couple man I look at and just think, you're just a hood brother, man. You just got peas and you want to rap.
Again, there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But how many would you
who's
say?
man to tell a G like, man, you can't do that? You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Yeah, there's only a few though. But I don't know what the percentages are, but there is a few man.
What would you say? What would you say?
There is a few man who I just think, fam, you're just a G with dough and you want to rap.
But isn't that everyone though?
I think at this point, at this point, it actually doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Because
don't.
like,
There's
if
no
like,
rules.
even if you're like completely shit and you have like credibility and you're using your credibility to be shit and make music, I can't judge another black man and trying to do you like something good, if that makes any sense.
But that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but you still want to see who's good.
So they could be entertainers, right? These men are entertainers. They got the sauce. They're flexing, whatever. However you want to label it. But what I'm saying to you, Kyze's a good rapper, technically. You've heard him on multiple mixtapes, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Featuring his own thing in a short space of time as well. I've got to give you credit for that because obviously you've been away and stuff. So the impact you've had in that short space of time, I give you credit. But what I'm saying is, how many rappers out there right now, the scene's big as it's ever been, what percentage are good and what percentage are hood?
There's definitely. I think
50-50,
You
you're saying?
think so? I think it's.
I
I think
think
there's
that's-
more. I think there's more good than hood, man.
I think it's
Okay.
way more technical than that. I think
Nah,
that's
I
in
definitely
music
think
in
it's
general. There's
50-50.
always
50-50.
You got to think of where the cultures come from and the greats. You got to think
But
Kano. You got to
yeah.
think Skepta. You
But
got
I
to think
gotta be
Giggs.
honest. I don't even
You gotta
watch
think
the
Gets.
game like that.
You got to think, but
I don't even watch the game enough to know, like everything what's going on. Like
Which ones do you know? Do you know a lot of the hood
I'm
ones?
not.
pumping
I
your
think
tune
I'm just a
downstairs.
biased person. I've got to like really like you or know you as a person for me to really pay it attention. I'm not like a YouTuber. I don't sit
But I
down
think
there
that
looking
that's
at all
why
these
so
new
many of the
people.
hood ones resonate with so many people, because there's a lot of people who might have heard their name ring and they're like, okay, I know who you are. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to see what's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm not like that, man. It has to be
You know,
something
so 50-50.
like, it has to be something that really like my new favorite rapper who's jumped into my top 5 is Cass is Dead, and it was only because he done a song with Giggs. I never even heard him before. He just done that song with Giggs. I was like, this brother's cold, and I just went to look at him, and he was sick, and now he's one of my favorite rappers.
Nah, it's always good to see someone from the hood doing their thing, like. But I think it was just. We'll see. That, you know what I mean? I thought I'll ask you that. It's interesting. You're in an interesting position as a rapper. Posty, obviously.
I don't know,
with
man. I
one of
just
those
don't
key
know,
platforms.
man. I don't even know like what's going on. I just know what's good. If I hear a song, I think this is good. If not,
It's
Wow.
Weird. It's
Wow.
weird. It's weird when Viz is nice to me. I'm like,
Oh, no. Bro.
Listen,
this is like the rebel of you lot's team, innit?
Yeah, he's the rebel
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
He's like
Nah, it's
he's like the old Jizzle
Yeah.
The OG.
I want to talk about one of your sickest verses.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sickest verses. What's that?
Actually, yeah, before I dive into one of your sickest verses, let me tell you what stuck in my childhood. Kyze, that's one of my main men. That line alone is so ill. Like, even when I see you, sometimes I say that shit.
Yeah.
But the fucking feature on the Landlord album, who's Kyze, who's asking, I'm GBH, ammunition and gun charges. That, hey, see when I hear that in a rave,
You heard it in a rave?
No, but when I've been at the concerts and and you come out and say that shit. Because I know you, and I'm not even saying this as a person that is like close to GBH, ammunition and gun charges, but I feel my niggas. I feel them. I feel like I want to see niggas like, I like hearing everybody's stories, you know what I'm trying to say? So
you just want to hear fuckery, innit?
No, I like hearing good shit sometimes too, but like when you say that shit, I feel it. I'm like, yeah, Kyze, tell them your story, you know what I'm trying to say? That shit was fucking ill, bro.
Thank you.
Like, that verse is sick. What was the feedback on that joint? Do you think?
Yeah, it was mad. A lot of people say it was like one of my coldest verses.
It's hard.
Yeah, man.
Super hard.
Yeah.
Listen, I know we've had the SN1
You're trying to
folder.
be humble.
Thank you.
I know we've had the SN1 folder.
Yeah.
And mixtapes and stuff.
You're gonna ask me when's SN1 doing a project?
On.
I don't know. I've done about 10 interviews this week. I keep ever telling everyone the same thing. I don't know. With SN1,
Do you think it's gonna happen
planned.
though? Like soon? I know inevitably it's gonna happen one day, but
I don't know what. Like, you see, with SN1, you're dealing with like loads of individual characters here. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's like works on their own. At the moment, everyone seems to be working on their own stuff and doing it well. So with SN1, nothing's ever planned. I feel like one day we're just doing nothing as a collective, and then the next day, bang, we're, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've never been too far apart. I'm on the Landlord album, Gigs on my new mixtape, Gunner's CD before this one. I'm on like 3 of the songs. Do you know what I'm saying? Grand's got a headline show coming up. There's like, everyone's working, you know, Boo soon be home doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know. I think it's, with one thing about SN1, I think everything's super organic. It's never forced, like, on the February 1st, we got to start this and have it out. It's just always like one day, it's probably Gigs is going to turn around and say, right, we're doing this, and then we're doing a mixtape. I think he's the only voice who's like loud enough to make it happen. Because
yeah.
that being said, I'm not being biased here, but I think Gigs is probably the hardest working.
Almost
I think honestly, out of SN1, I think he's the hardest working.
He posted something on
the man them's going to be upset with me.
He posted something on Instagram yesterday that was extremely scary, yeah? He posted like, someone posted like the CD collection of like the rap game.
Yeah.
And like...
Yeah, shout out Josh SN1, follow him, man.
Yeah, the work rate's insane.
And he, I would say 90% of the CDs were Gig CDs, Kyze features, and well, the other 5% was Kyze features, Young Meth, shout out Youngstar, because he was hard as well, and Gunner's CD as well. And like, he's got a great body of work.
You look at all those bodies of work, you think you can't, like, and I've always said that, I feel like Gigs is and has always been the hardest worker of SN1. I'm probably the laziest. At a time, I was probably the laziest. Half of my CDs wouldn't be done if it wasn't Gigs saying, yo, man, get something done.
And to be honest, you will never go to a show in the UK at the moment and get more hits in terms of songs.
Yeah.
In terms of
These shows crazy, bro.
Actual songs
These shows crazy.
affecting or striking emotion in the public than a gig show.
How else? I think Gigs is someone, obviously, you know, like he says, he's got
Go out there, Chams.
He's got a very
Just
Shams
staring
is
into
drunk.
space.
No, it's not because I'm drunk.
Do you want another drink?
No, definitely not. I've got a meeting after, man. At 3
word.
o'clock, I got a meeting.
Gotta stay.
I was
10
supposed to be
minutes ago.
somewhere ages ago, and you lot
It's
made me
okay.
late, telling me
Guys,
wrong
this is
times.
more-
Can we just be? Can we just be on
Yeah,
time
nah,
from
keep it
now on?
100 about the
You
lateness.
know what, guys, to be honest, this is it's more impactful for the project
That's a liberty.
than the
Trying
other
to
joint
diss
that
the
you're
next
doing.
joint.
I'm not
I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying, can we be on time next time?
Kyze only falls out with people if they're late, by the way. That's his biggest
No, he
fucking...
falls out of people about anything.
Posty. You're gonna throw me under the bus like that?
Kyze, what was we discussing before?
No more champagne for you. No more AU vodka for you. This coming with me.
You're pretending to be a nice person, Kyze.
This is coming with
And
me.
I really appreciate it. It's been nice for the culture.
My brother. hey, Posty, you better clear that up.
I know we had a great interview with Giggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before Landlord dropped.
Yeah.
What kind of person is Giggs?
Be careful how I choose my words. Nah, do you know what? Giggs is like my brother, innit? So I'm always going to be biased to an extent, but like for what he's done for the game, how he's influenced me, people around me. I don't go anywhere and, you know, people don't salute Giggs for something. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think like just when I'm around Giggs, all I want to do is work. He enjoys his work and he loves it. And one thing I say he taught me how to do is believe in your own shit. Do you know what I'm saying? And respect your own shit and never question your own shit. If you like it, fling it out there. Man, don't like it, fuck it. That's what I've done with this CD. So I can only say inspirational. I can only say that one word. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's always been the same and he's always been a fan of Kyze. Giggs is not a man who say, oh, I feel you, you know. Giggs will break down your bars. He'll tell you why he likes the bar, why he might not like a bar. Like, he's not a man who chats shit. Like, he's just a no-nonsense brother. So you can always get the real from him. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's just a real brother. So I can only say influential.
Yeah, definitely inspirational.
And I'm a dad, by the way.
One of the most.
So can we toast to that?
Toast to that.
Toast.
Before we go.
Toast to that.
Yeah. It's not real toast if I don't get none.
Oh, yeah, it's cool, man. You can have some of it.
Yeah, no, that's too much.
It's cool, man. Toast to that. I just wanted to throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? While we're celebrating. Just in case you want to know why we're popping like champagne so early.
What's the wildest city in the UK at the moment in terms of, you know what I mean, performing? I think you was on the Giggs tour.
Bro,
the Panani Rhythm took you all around the country and stuff. What's the wildest city?
I think Manchester always goes off. But I was surprised on the Landlord tour, Scotland was going mad. I said, raw. I don't know what was harder, Manchester or Scotland. But for me personally, I'm gonna say Scotland. Obviously,
Scotland
London was
can party,
nuts.
man.
Obviously, London was nuts, innit? You know, that's in league of its own.
Yeah.
But in terms of everywhere else, Scotland went off.
Basically,
Chams is quiet today, man. What's going on, Chams?
No, because she's going to ask you about girl questions and we don't want that.
Is that what you're going to do, Shams?
We know you're the gal.
I'll ask her about guy questions.
You can do that.
Shams, you're not giving no one the front, man. I ain't heard nothing about you, Shams. Well done.
Front. So what is the
Shams
front?
ain't giving no one the front,
It
man.
killed me. Man actually didn't went to put my hand there.
Right, you covered the front.
I thought that was wild.
Oi, without showing my age here, one thing I want to ask you as well, yeah? I feel like you've got an old school sound to your flow and stuff.
Bro, Royce, I didn't even see you there.
Well, go on.
Yeah, go on.
Like, who influenced you? Like, you remind me of like this guy called Fallacy back in the day.
Who?
I remember Fallacy.
Yeah, don't you
Big and
remind you of
Bashy.
Fallacy?
Oh, I'm going to run that when I get in my car. That tune was hard.
I'm going to run that new...
What was his name? Fallacy.
2 words, one
and
thing.
Fusion, I think it was.
No, I've been banging it on the way here. Ask Jay.
Yeah.
Cameraman.
So Rodney P and them, man.
Jay's your brother from back home, man. Look at
Yeah,
him.
that's what he said when he got here.
That's why he's in position. It's not because he's
That
good.
looks like his brother from back home. Like he said, come, man.
Looks like
Just...
he's-
Jay, stand in front of the camera quickly.
Hey, Jay.
We need evidence.
Jay,
That they
Come on.
definitely got the same pops or something. Definitely.
Slightly.
Yeah, definitely. That's Posty's slim brother.
Did any of the OGs
I'll
without...
say it, Posty. Say it. We're both,
say that.
we're both working on our bellies. Say it, Posty. Say it.
You can check Jay on Instagram. What's your Instagram, Jay?
JYO.
Stop trying to get some promo off this shit, nigga.
That is
Posty's
definitely your
cold.
brother from back home. Like,
No, that's
you
my
get me?
guy. That's my
Definitely. You
We
brought him
love
over here
Jay.
to do the camera.
Who influenced you outside of SM1 is the question. Is it any of the OGs?
Early days. The
OGs?
first people that I was in UK, the first as the American rap scene, when I first started getting into rap, I think it was more like the bad boy influence, like Biggie, like Bad Boy. I was, you know what I'm saying, and then D Block
Locks.
and Lock the
Lock,
Locks.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying, and that. UK. First influences, you have to just give it up to Skibber and Shabba. Then after that, I think it was So Solid. And then I'd have to say, I have to give it to Dizzy and Wiley. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously I'd met Dizzy at that time and he was sick, and then 2 minutes later he blew. He had a classic album. And I think after that, like, I think Bear Man in the Hood just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, show that they was that guy. But yeah, originally Skibber and Shabba, I have to give it to. Fast forward a bit, So Solid. And then obviously as So Solid, man was a fan of So Solid, and through that time I was in school, college, and then boom, like Dizzy and Wiley was running it. That's how it went for me, and then we was running it. You get me?
Yeah,
All right.
definitely. Sorry, forgive me. Champagne all up in the throat.
I know, I feel like everyone's drunk.
Can't
Well, wait,
believe
are you not waved?
Nah, I'm alcoholic.
he does this.
God damn.
I'm half Irish, B.
Are you?
Yeah, my dad's Irish. God rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Salute the
definitely.
Irish.
Trust me.
Definitely, man. Irish should drink you under the fucking table, man.
I think you can drink more than me, but I'll
Pardon?
pretend for the camera. You can't drink more than me.
Posty,
said
you're
it
gone
yourself.
already.
What
you
do you
said
mean
it
I'm gone
yourself.
already?
How
I'm
does
gone.
he do it? He's
Jay,
a
what
champ.
was he doing in the car? Okay, cool.
He weren't driving no people.
Posty, you cannot drink more than Posty. I've got you waved bare times.
No, you
Now
haven't.
Posty he can hold a what's called
No, you
not as much
haven't.
as me, but
Kyze,
he can.
I'll
He's
give you
waved.
like-
He's
I'll
about to
give you
fall
a-
asleep.
I'll give you the edge on other aspects in life.
Do it now, Posty. Yeah.
No, you don't want it with me.
But
On a
let's do it
drinking
now,
level.
fam. We'll go shot for shot right now. We'll turn this into drink champs.
Let's do
Do
it.
you want it?
What's drink champ?
I do want it.
Got this new hard AU vodka. I'm ready. I'm celebrating. I'm off probation. I'm a dad. I got a baby on the way. Let's do it.
Congratulations
I got a
on
bad boy
the baby, by the
mixtape
way.
out. I got a bad boy
Congratulations.
mixtape out.
Bad
Let's
boy
do it.
mixtape.
You got a bad boy mixtape out. Your life is going good.
Video about to drop.
Yeah, man.
And
Johnny
you know
Storm.
what? You are a fucking pioneer, bro. You are
Listen,
a pioneer.
Thank you.
I
Thank
know,
you.
I know. I'm one of them greedy consumers, though. I know you just dropped the mixtape, but the album, I'm gonna ask you about.
He just dropped it. Like
listen,
3 days
These people
ago,
like him
cuz.
ruining the music game. and
innit?
that.
That's where we are today. That's what the
It's people
that's
like
how
you
the
why
fans are.
It's people like you why the artists are mad.
Yeah, turn them mad because
You just make a bad boy mixtape and then they want
The
more.
mixtape
It's
is
cool.
the
It's
album.
like
these
crack.
days
It's not
anyway.
the album.
No, but the mixtape is the album.
No, do you know what? I think like
Nah,
you
I
said,
disagree, but
I
yeah.
think you haven't touched on certain things.
No,
like
fine.
we've just spoken about certain things that you've touched on.
I'm gonna do
lightly.
an album when I feel like the time is right. And right now, I'm in a fuck you frame of mind. Not like fuck you. I'm talking about I'm just doing what I want to do. I'm enjoying music again. I'm enjoying the process. So when I feel like there's an album on the way, I'll drop an
There's
album.
no plans yet.
I don't care about
in
the
stone.
beats. I don't care about nothing. I just care
what I
about
think?
making good music that's enjoyable for me.
Rate that.
And-
You know what I think?
Yeah,
Do you
that's
know,
it.
sorry to cut you,
Rated
Chris, but
awards.
do you know what I think? No. Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think? Album is the same as a mixtape now because it actually doesn't matter. It's still a body of work. Albums used to mean like deep shit to us back in the day when we was younger because like, oh yeah, this person just dropped the album and this person just dropped the album. So this is like their body of work. It's a presentation of your life on a CD. But people do that through mixtapes now anyway. So it's not
Yeah.
like it's not like an album.
Yeah, but
means
but
more.
people usually have a little bit more fun with their mixtape than they do with their album.
Do you know what?
No,
I'm-
that's what they've told
I've
us.
enjoyed more mixtapes than
Who's they told-
albums.
who's they?
Of recent?
I don't know. I don't want to know they.
I feel like that sometimes.
I don't know what it
I feel
is.
like
I
that
don't know what it
sometimes.
is.
I feel like that with certain artists. I enjoy their mixtapes.
But with you in particular, I know that you're going to talk about certain things in terms of on your album.
Yeah.
I know we're going to see a side to you that we probably know about, but I haven't heard you go into.
Do you know what I'd like to do is probably talk about a lot about the. This is why I don't think I'm ready to do an album because like I'm still enjoying like the fuckery side of it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's nice. It's
Like,
honest.
Yeah, but you see, like in terms of an album and that, like, you know, I want to talk about life experiences. I want to talk about being in foster care and being an orphan and doing a thing. Like my albums, I've already got the title, the artwork, like Story of an Orphan. You get what I'm
What's
saying?
the title?
It's called Story of an Orphan. Yeah. But it's like until you have that, you know what you were saying earlier about like where does the music come from? I think with that album, that has to come from somewhere. With the mixtapes, I just go in and have fun, hear the beat, do what I want. I think with my album, I do want to take time to craft it properly because I do want to like talk to other kids that have been in care, who mums passed away, whose dads passed away, my parents passed away, you know what I'm saying? And I've never met my dad, to bury a person I never met before. Do you get what I'm saying? So, you know, like with the album, I think I do want to address those things. So that's a time where you have to sit down and think, how am I going to approach this? How am I going to be real with the people and be real with myself and make it enjoyable and all of those things? That's something. But at the same time, I don't want to overthink it. I want it to be natural. But with mixtapes, just go in and it. Just do what you do.
Do you not think that people make their best music though when they just go in and do them? Like, you know, obviously,
that's how this CD was. That's how this CD was. Every CD I've thought about, like overthought about, I've not enjoyed. I can't listen to it after. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about Giggs' influence. We see when Giggs makes a tape, yo, man's banging the tape. Like, he's rolling with that like it's a next rapper. Like, did you hear what he said? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to feel that. Like, I wanted to think like, nah, and I've done that with this mixtape. Like, I rolled to that mixtape. 2 words, one finger. I rolled to that tape. And I want my album to feel like that. But at the same time, I do want to, like, you know, reach out to people who's been in similar experiences, like losing their parents and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. I think you got a strong message. You come from a lot of hardship.
Yeah.
And it's admiring to see where you are.
We're
now.
all drunk, by the way, so, you know.
Yeah, we're fucked.
We're enjoying.
More mixtapes.
We've been drinking. We was filming till 4 or 5 in the morning.
We need that SM1 album, man.
Hollow.
Like, we really need that SM1 album.
Yeah.
Like, really, and soon.
I think Posty can make that
I'm feeling really drunk right now. You know why?
Why?
Because I was trying to give a compliment and you lot shut me down.
And
both
he's
of you.
telling me about it. And he's telling me about he can drink. And we was drinking till the same time this morning.
Guys,
and I'm ready now.
Guys,
The Irish blood.
After. It's not a problem. It's actually not even
Get
an
it
issue.
cracking after. You know, I got like 2 interviews after. And you talk about getting cracking after.
So you have a reason to not be waved because I thought you.
No, I want to
handle
prove
it.
a point to you.
All right, cool. So we'll get it cracking.
But you
straight
said you won't
after
be
this.
waved because you said that you can handle it.
Yeah, you said you
Tell
can
truth.
handle it. So
Why
I'm
are you
like
not trying to
confused.
rush me like
I'm
that?
confused with your message. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't even know what you said right there, bro.
So how, like, when you're in the studio...
Me and Giggs
With
screw
Giggs.
each other coming in and out of the booth. Me and Giggs screw each other coming in and out of the booth, man. I definitely, like... even Johnny Storm, man. Like, he murdered, man. Because you know what, yeah?
You saying
Like,
he
I was
murdered
saying I took Savage, innit?
Oh, yeah.
On his album. You get what I'm saying? I was saying, yeah, man, I definitely took that hate. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More time we just go in and just make a rhythm. Like, we don't really, like, it's almost like not really competition. But then, like, there's occasional times where, like, I'm trying to win. You get what I'm saying? Or I'm trying to do my thing. And, like, on Savage, I remember on the Landlord documentary kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's a point where he's explaining my bar on the bus and I'm saying, yeah, running away. Like, but I'm saying I'm running on the rhythm. I'm not saying I'm running away with it, yeah? So he's come to me and he's like, pussy, oh. You think you took that, yeah? You think you took that, you get me? And then we done Johnny Storm, yeah, and he just went mad. You get what I'm saying? He just went mad. So you see, the next thing we do
revenge
is
bars.
beef, man. You get what I'm saying? Me and Gig's thing's going on forever, man. You get what I'm saying? Like, the next song me and Gig do, like, I'm really, really gonna go in, you know what I'm saying? Because what he done on Johnny Storm was almost a borderline liberty. Wow. He murdered it that much.
Yeah, it's not-
If you ain't heard it yet, make sure you go listen to that.
He went mad, didn't
not
it? He went
universal.
mad. But I feel like I went mad on Savage. Shout
Yeah,
out Hollow.
no. I'll be real. I'll be completely real. The Savage verse, it was bad. It was bad. It's like, who's Kyze? Who's asking? Like, it was just too naughty, cuz. I'll be real with you. I feel like you took that. I'll be real, but
Yeah. Nah, definitely.
Johnny Storm and that,
Like, Gig definitely went in on Johnny Storm on a thing of blood. You thought you had Savage, yeah? I'm going to show you that you definitely lost on this. Like, I'm going to kill you and you're going to know you're dead.
Yeah,
you know them
yeah.
ones there?
Yeah,
Like, that's what he done on Johnny Storm. But salute anyway, man. It's all love and it's all in healthy competition, you know what I'm
of course,
saying?
and I think that's what make the greats the greats.
But it's not like that when me and Gunna do a tune. It's not like that when me and Grand do a tune. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? None of the team. But when I'm on a tune with Giggs, yeah, you know, Giggs like thinks he's the best in the world, yeah. So when I go in a tune with Giggs, I think he's the best as well. But I'm trying to like outdo the best. You know what I'm saying? So when I go on a tune with Gig, I'm definitely trying to flex my thing. You get what I'm saying?
Big up all of SM1.
Yeah, man.
Kyze, it's been fun.
It's been a great time. Kyze, you joining me for
2 words, one finger out now. Go
But
down.
We're drunk, so did we do a good
Are
interview
we
though?
doing shots? We
I hope
did a
so.
great interview.
Posty, I want to do shots now and you're just play pimping, man.
The mad thing about this interview, you'll probably see the progression of us getting drunk as well.
That's bad.
More and more drunk.
On and on and on.
Yeah.
But
All right.
fuck it, bro.
And I just want to big up everyone who downloaded and streamed the mixtape. I fully appreciate it. Everyone, all the messages, the DMs, the emails, everything has been absolutely crazy. And I appreciate the love. Trust me, it's proper overwhelming at times. Some of the things people say, the real fans, like the stuff that they say, the stuff like what they say that we've done for them. You know what I'm saying? Keep those things coming, because those things keep me going genuinely. When people say like, you know, we help them get through a certain period of their life, those things mean a lot to me. So keep all of those messages coming, man.
So now you
And
can
big up the
say to
fans.
your supporters and fans that you're not going to stop now. Now you're out the gate again. You ain't
No,
gonna stop.
I'm not taking my foot off the pedal because I'm enjoying it again. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I come out of jail. I had like legal circumstances. Then I become a dad, you know what I'm saying? And I took time out to do that. Then I had to take time out just to grow as a person. Do you get what I'm saying? And you know, like I'll come into into a game that's like, that had changed. You know what I'm saying? It had changed fully, and you know what I'm saying? So like the reason why I'm here is still just for the love of the music and for the love of the fans. Because my fans are upset with me. I see my fans on the road and they're like, yo, where's the ting, bruv? They see me and they say, yo, where's the music, bro? You know what I'm saying? Posty's like that. Look, he's all humble on camera. Posty off camera's like, yo, where's the music, blood? He's greasy Posty, not the smiley pretend guy that he is on this platform. He's actually fuckery behind the thing. You know what I'm saying? Putting bare pressure on,
No,
man.
but you know what it is? I think it's like a balance of the two. Obviously, you have to deal with like real life sometimes, you know what I mean? And I feel like you're in a space where your energy is concentrated on making great music.
Just don't send me no more cameramen that lose footage, Posty, please.
That was
man.
Rashid's fault. He tried to bust me on a dead train.
We pay you good money, Posty, man.
You don't pay me great money.
I'm gonna wrap. I wanted to talk about you directing videos, but I'll just say it for you. Kyze directs most of his videos. Pretty much all of them.
I'm a bit
But-
controlling when it comes
Yeah,
to
a
the
bit, yeah,
videos,
yeah, yeah.
I admit. You get what I'm saying? But I think everybody who's passionate about something is like that. You know what I'm saying? Shams at home, you might be passionate about what way the glasses go up or what way the washing's folded or something like that. No, you're not passionate about nothing like that.
Don't give me those two women stereotypes. Why do they have to be washing up and folding clothes?
Fucked up now.
You're right,
You're fucked up now. I'm gonna save you.
You're right.
Not for the radio.
You're right, Shams.
Two
You're right,
words,
Shams.
one
Shams,
finger.
hey, let me tell you something about Shams, yeah?
Yeah.
Let
No.
me tell you something. No, let me
right,
tell
all right,
you
all right.
a story about how I met Shams.
Oh,
All
God.
right then.
Let's get it cracking.
I've come out of jail. We're at an award show.
Rated awards.
The first one.
Uh-huh.
All as I said to Shams was, your brethren's looking all right, Shams.
You know cock blocker
That's
over
the
here.
You know
worst.
what Shams decided to do? Drag man over there, put me in front of the person and say, he said you're looking peng. And for the first time in my life, I was there
Didn't
like,
fold.
I went, yeah, you look peng. Shams
Cock
fully
blocker over here.
full-
We're doing
I'll be
cock
honest.
blocker.
What, Shams ain't a cop blocker?
Oh,
Is Shams a cop blocker?
Are you crazy? This is the biggest cop blocker in the fucking game.
See, I
the
did you
biggest,
nice.
The biggest cop blocker.
But you got to
in the
rate
game.
Shams because Shams ain't giving no one the front.
Yo.
I don't know what the front means, but I'm gonna back off, and we're gonna close the interview.
Shams ain't giving no one the front. But how could she be a cop blocker though? She brought me to the thing.
Whoa.
No, I'm just saying how. You say she for real? She a cop blocker.
The naughtiest cop blocker in the game, and I don't blame her, Shams.
Is that
to be
true,
honest.
Shams?
Yeah, I enjoy
I
it.
don't blame you.
So why did you bring me to that
Because
person?
I thought it was time.
What? To not be a cop blocker?
Yeah.
That is unlike
I
Shams.
did tell you I quit though, but you know, Posty's behaving at the moment, so he wouldn't know.
Yeah, all your medals are safe now.
Now.
Whoa.
Wait, Jay,
Whoa.
I'm locking off this interview now. We can carry on talking, but that's
drunk.
it.
We're drunk.
Not for the radio. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you get the mixtape now. 2 words, 1 finger. Kyze is on this thing right now.
And excuse our behavior, you know, the lack of consistency in interviews. It's just every time we come back, it just pops off anyway. So it's like, you know,
we just got a lot to celebrate.
Yeah.
Sick music, sick platforms, rated awards on the way, fatherhood, all of that. Done now.
Shots.
Hashtag
NFTR. To fatherhood and your progress in life. Congratulations, sir. Proud of you.
Still ain't running, dog.
Still not running?
No.
Cancelled it twice.
What is life?
Mate, we need a couple more lines if that's possible.
You need more shots. Come
More
on,
shots,
drink
mate. Come on.
What do you mean there's shots here?
Yeah, but drink them. Don't look at them.
Live in
Like they're antiques.
Let's not go on like.
Just to back them, man.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
It's my birthday tomorrow. So on my birthday, go on.
Oh,
bust
it's
it.
your birthday tomorrow, Jay?
My
Genuine, boy. Like, we care. Which we do care about
I'm alright still. I got to drive still.
Let me just say, we're supposed to be drinking till 4 o'clock.
No one cares.
Here's the knock for the radio on how successful you
my chisel.
Right, it's got the food in the car.
Whoa.
Posty. None of us are gonna give up. We're just gonna die, dude.
Just drink your drink. Stop talking.
Die anyway. We've had a good life, right? To some stages.
Here's the Chams not giving no one the front.
Here's the Chams not giving no one the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. That's what we ordered. Did we not order 20?
No.
Hey, boss. Did we not order 20 shots? Oh, okay, cool. Let's get 5 more. My friend is still feeling good.
Posty.
I just want to discipline him.
Posty.
No.
Posty. I got work to do.
Not in my avenue, and so do I. And I'm going to do it. Are you? Are you going to do your job? Because I want to do my job.
Because I do my job.
I do my job. Are you going to do your thing?
They're giggling. You know once that laugh comes out.
Hey, Kizzy. Let's do this.
Boss.
What, Viz, you've had no shots?
Sick mixtape. I gotta take one.
Yeah, respect to that, so that's it.
Boss, quick. Boss.
Yeah.
Boss.
My interview.
Yeah, I've got a fucking radio. I'm
trying to get the vibe.
bro. I'm trying to fucking live in the vibe.
Trying to sell some CDs.
How many have you done now?
Right, I've got to go this
5 more and we're good.
He took one of yours. No, not 5 more, Posty.
We're gonna go as soon as he hits that 5.
Posty, I've
Alright,
got
go.
a baby.
Yeah.
I've got to drop him. Posty, I've got 2 baby mums. I need shoes. One more, boss. Just one more.
No, boss. 5 more.
No, all of us. There's that one. One each. Posty.
This
I've got a
geezer.
baby mum.
You were saying that you were saying what you were
Posty, you ain't even
saying.
got one.
Posty.
Bruv, we'll do
We
this
gotta
again.
go, you
My baby
alky.
mum, Posty.
No, but he was saying what you were saying. I'm just trying to.
Hey, don't get that on.
I'm trying to defend my
We'll
corner.
do that.
No, keep that. Yeah.
Bye.
That's the one he had for you. Your one behind. That was neat. Pussy.
How did we get here?
What the fuck just happened? My interview just went wrong. That better be good. We'll do it again. Viz. It is good though. Viz knows. You see, Viz is a real brother. You see what I've got today? Viz is a real nigga, fam. He knows in his mind it might not be. But he's just gonna wing
Nah,
it.
it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
he's
It's
gonna
good.
wing it.
We kept it 100.
Do you know you got the postcode?
Yeah, same place. Brick Lane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Y'all creep with arms out like a body warmer. Fire pun informer. Love my day ones. They'll leave a human torch that they put the flame on.
Hashtag NFTR.